Welcome to Lost in the Lakes, where you get brews, reviews, but best of all, views. Okay, so today we're starting off at the station in Keswick and we're going to do a loop around the back of Latrigg. So for the first mile or 2 miles, we're going to be walking along the railway line. This is behind me. And that's the way we're going. As you're walking along the railway line, you've got all these about the history of the railway line. You can read at your own leisure. Okay, so we're doing this on a Easter holiday. Today you can see it's a lot busier than when I was last filming. That's where we're going, up Latrigg. If you've set off and you realise you haven't got any drinks or anything, there's a petrol station just on your left. We're only about 500 metres into it, so you can go down there and there's a little shop around the corner there. As you can see, this route is very popular with cyclists and walkers as well. Okay, as we're just coming over the little rise, you can see the A66 bypass bridge. And down on the left there we've got the old forge. And a little note, the Greeter Bridge, which is that thing up there, got best concrete structure of the century. So this is the Bobbin Mill Tunnel, reopened in 2020. Extended, you can see where these corrugated bits are. The original tunnel actually started just here, where you can see the stonework. Just as you're coming out of here, you've got little seats with viewpoints of the river. Okay, you can kind of see where we're going to go. We're going to follow this route down. We're going to cut through the woods just to make it a little nicer, so we get off this concrete quicker, and then we're going to be going over the back of there and onto the top of Latrigg. This is a viewpoint of the river that you see. It's quite deep today. You can see a bit of the erosion from 2015. The path used to cut along here, on the one on the opposite side, and you just kind of see it about there, where the path was, and all of this has been cut out. Right, the next bridge we come to, I'll also show you where the erosion is. We're just coming up to here. It was the old bobbin mill, and there was a little station there where people used to get off and go to work at the bobbin mill. It's now a caravan park, holiday park, whatever you want to call it. So we've got some static caravans here. In summertime you can't see them, they're blocked by all the trees and everything. Okay, just after the Briery, you've got a bridge where I'm going to show you. This is the last bridge we're going to cross before we turn off up the side of Brunelone Woods and then going up to the side of Latrigg as well. As you're crossing here, if you look to the right, you can see some erosion that happened in 2015. It's quite significant on this side. Gives you an idea of how high the river was. You look to the left as well, you can also see a bit of erosion. This tree has just fallen down within the last sort of 4 months. And the river is high, but obviously not as high as what it got to. So if you check my other video about Castlerigg Stone Circle, you'll see a bit more of this walk we're doing along here. But for now, we're going to cut left. Just before this bridge, you'll see a signpost, and we're cutting left down there. You'll see a significant drop in traffic as you come down here onto the left. This is the sort of busy section where you've got bikes and dogs and everything like that. So we're going to cut off down to the left here. And you've got permitted footpath to Brunelone Road. Okay, as you step off the railway line, it becomes a lot more quieter traffic wise, and you're going to start climbing almost straight away. Quite a steep climb, but an easy walk. Now I wouldn't say this was buggy friendly or pram friendly, because it's more the steepness. You know, it's not too bad terrain wise, but it is quite a steep climb up. Right, follow this path back on itself. If you go that way, I mean, that sign says it all really. stop, go no further. Just continue on up this way and then it'll take you to Brunloan Road. It's the old road. You can't actually see how far back we go. There's the Briery, which was the old bobbin mill sidings. So that all that erosion is almost directly below us now. So yeah, just be careful, don't go down that way. But yeah, so this does cut back quite far, but rest assured it does get you to where you need to go. Right, as you come into these gates here, this is Brunloan Road, so you want to be taking a right and walking up on the actual road. It's a closed road now, so as you can see this is a closed road and you can freely walk along here. It was open for a while and then 2015 kind of seen it out where the road had dropped down. This has always been a very quiet road. Where the roads actually halt, the whole of this road here is dropped. So you can see, let me just say, come down here and you can see from this side. From there, that's the sort of top line, it's dropped about 2 foot, but it's this whole road here has dropped down. It's just another section of the road. All this chunk here has been taken away. You can see where it used to go to here, about there. And it used to come along here, so all that section's, you see all the bits down there. So all that was gone as well. So it wasn't just the one area, it was multiple areas across this road that made the decision for it to be closed. The bit that's closed off down there, if it ever does get open, if you cut through here, it cuts out a lot of that stuff going back on your way, and it takes you up here, and it maybe cuts about 1.5 miles off the walk, but at the moment it's, you know, there's no access to it, but it will open in the future. Okay, as you're coming out of the trees on the right hand side, just basically keep going until you get to the top of this road. So you start to get some nice views now. Let me just spin you around. Just on the top over there you've got the stone circle, above that Bleaberry Fell. Just to the right of that you've got Waller. This is all the High Rig and all that range. And yeah, trees. Just off to the left of High Rig, you've got Clough Head and Rays over off in the distance. And then you've got that range going across the top that takes you to Helvellyn. Right, just as the road starts to kick up and you think this is getting steep, there's a gate off to the left hand side. Basically this is the highest point on the road. And once you get to the highest point, you go left and go higher. Okay, now if you're feeling tired and didn't want to do Latrigg, you can actually follow this road all the way back down, and it takes you down to the railway line, and you can walk back along the railway line. But today, we're going to go up here. The sign actually does say Skiddaw 5 miles, but we'll be cutting left across, taking a different footpath and not going up Skiddaw. Okay, so we're just following the footpath up Latrigg here. That's the one where you come through the gate, just carry on going on the main path, and this takes you up the ridge of Latrigg. As you can see, there's a few people out today. So as you come through this gate, you can see it's been propped up. It's obviously been propped up by a farmer, so just leave it open if you see a gate like that. Right, you can just see a path going up this way. This little path here that goes level takes you to the car park and then back down Spurney Green Lane. What it does is means that you do miss out the top of Latrigg. So lower, quicker, but no views. But this way gets you up onto the ridge, and then you can go along and you can just kind of see the ridge over there, which is the top of Latrigg there. So just kind of follow your nose, follow this little path diagonally up. it gets onto a more level, well-worn path, and then just kind of follow that up. So as you can see, this path levels off. It does traverse this other one here, but you want to be going up here, and then you can just kind of see it going off up to the left. The way I'm going to go is up this ridge line, just slightly better views, but you can go straight ahead and then go over to the left there. Just start to see a bit of the jaws of Borrowdale. You can just kind of make it out there. On a clear day, you can see all the way down. Okay, following this path up here, when you get to this gate, you kind of know you're on the top. That's pretty much it. And you just need to traverse along this ridge, and then it takes you down onto Latrigg bench. If you've seen any of my other walks, there's another one that cuts up through Latrigg and again through this gate. So we're just going to walk along this ridge now, have a look at the views, and then it takes you down onto the bench, and then we're going to go back on the classic route back down. And the wind's here again. It's not as bad as last time, but you know, you do get the prevailing winds coming off Latrigg. So if you ever want a windy place to come, Latrigg's your one. But if you do come back off the edge a bit, it is a bit less. It's when it hits the side of the fell and just pushes up, and then it kind of all funnels over the edge. Okay, we're now on the top of Latrigg. That there is the top of Latrigg. That there is what everyone thinks is the top of Latrigg, but actually that's the top. So we're going to go down a little bit further down and then to the bench. This is probably about the best viewpoint in Latrigg, on Latrigg. Just this last hill, just before the bench there. As you can see, there's quite a few people down here today. It is Easter holiday still, so there's still quite a few people about. When we get to the bench, we're going to do a U-ey and then go back down the main way. So that's the way we're going to go back down. Okay, as you drop down off the bench there, the wind just cuts right off when it's going this way anyway, which, like I say, it's most of the time it does. And yeah, so you can easily get out of the wind. You can see it a bit better now, where one path goes up and round and then the other one goes down that way. For those who want to be a bit more adventurous, you can actually cut off down and go straight down there. It cuts off a little bit, it's quite a steep descent. Okay, this is where we cut down left, down this trail here. Again, that trail leads you to the car park, and this one takes you back down to Keswick. I haven't actually worked out how long this walk is, but I'm guessing 7 miles. That's the way you go if you want to be adventurous. In the wet, that grass is really slippy. This part takes you to the zigzags. Yeah, so it goes backwards and forwards a couple of times. A few people cut almost straight down, but you can see it sort of goes like that and then back down. You can just see some people down on the bottom there, and that's the last, that's the main path down Spoony. Okay, so you can see it's getting quite busy now. This is the path where it takes you back down to Spoony Green. Okay, so now we're just following the Spoony Green path all the way down to the bottom of Latrigg. Right, as you come into this bit here, this is the final steep descent. Before you get to the bottom, you get to a gate, and then it all levels off and you're pretty much at the bottom there. Right, once you got to this gate, you kind of know you're home and dry. Down here, over the bridge, and onto the end of the lane. Right, so when you come out here, just be mindful of cars. Go onto the footpath onto the right hand side and then go up off to the left. As this footpath finishes, there's another one that cuts through there, and it takes you round on the left hand side and cuts through this, saves you going through this narrow bit. Right, so that was another walk from Keswick, doing a loop round and going up Latrigg, taking in the views of Derwent Water and the valley around. And for all what we can see there, that's been me, Lost in the Lakes, and we'll see you in the next one.